Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 premiere Shadows. This was definitely a great season premiere. I didn't expect to actually enjoy it as much as I did. I was really excited for it, especially with the season finale and everything that happened with the tie-in to the last Captain America movie with S.H.I.E.L.D. being destroyed. We knew this season was going to be Coulson rebuilding S.H.I.E.L.D., and we find out it takes place a month after the season finale. And things have definitely changed. They have their base. Coulson is the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is still really small now. Hydra's definitely still out there. And Coulson's going around there trying to find contacts that can help them out. May has been teaching Sky, so she's, in agent mode. Ward is, like, was suicidal at one point. That was a really interesting moment in the episode, like him having gone through those moments. And he says he's clear headed, but he seems just so far gone from who he was as a character, like as a human, admittedly. And he's just like trying to get into this weird state of euphoria, like when he sees Sky. All he is just like he's just happy now, and it was so weird to see that. And he, when she sees his hands or sees his wrists, I mean, just him explaining that moment was just very interesting to watch that. And then we see some of the other new members. We get the mercenaries, one of which got her arm chopped off, which I was not expecting that. And I'm really hoping they didn't kill her off, because the last thing I would have thought is, oh, Lucy Lawless is in here, and then dead in like the first episode. I didn't know who that third guy was. I know Lucy Lawless and the guy who's like one of the new funny characters. Those two I had heard about before the season, so him, like that third guy, kind of just dying off wouldn't really affect me too much. But when it's like Lucy Lawless, and it was kind of announced that no one said that it would just be like a one episode thing, so hopefully she's not dead and they didn't like pull a twist on us and like, yeah, she's this and that, and then it's like, nope. So that was a really crazy twist at the end, but I did like their characters. They're sort of outside of S.H.I.E.L.D., but at the same time, Lucy Lawless being like the leader of the mercenaries, she was with S.H.I.E.L.D., and then the other guys are like, we're just in it for the money, and we look out for you, who's Lucy Lawless, because like she's their leader. And I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty cool. And they didn't, when he wanted to break off from what Coulson said at the end, when Lucy Lawless was in trouble, the guy was like, hey, screw that crap, I'm out of here. They couldn't do anything about it. They just let them go. So I actually thought that was pretty cool, and it split them up. So it'll lead down two separate paths, at least for a couple of episodes at least. Maybe just next week, I don't really know. But it'll lead down some separate paths. So that'll be pretty cool to see what he goes through and what really does happen with the rest of his team, because they certainly look dead to me. So, that he's probably going to be the only new character as far as the mercenaries go. We also got a new character, Mac, who we don't really get much out of. He's clearly able to work on the cars. That's the only real bit of information we've gotten on him. But I'm curious to see what he can do. And then we have Fitz and Simmons, and that was like the saddest part of this episode. And it was really powerful to watch, admittedly. I thought they did those scenes really, really well. And they just show the struggle that Fitz went through, and like the incredible struggle he's currently going through, because it seemed really simple, like he's not who he used to be, he's forgetting words and stuff like that. That was one thing. And then the end of the episode, they show that he's actually talking to himself the entire time. That made it a much more powerful moment than just thinking like, oh, like it was powerful as it was, because it was sad to see him so different than who he used to be. He was just, really quick, and he knew what he was doing. It's like, I got this, I got that. And he seemed like he was actually perfectly fine for a second. And when they first showed him off, and they kind of played it like he actually, was completely unaware of what was going on. And then they kind of made it where he's like, yes, I hear you, I'm just trying to do this. But then I think the next sentence, you could tell something was still wrong with him, where he couldn't figure out certain words, and he would always pause. And then, of course, it just, the revelation at the end showed that it's much worse than what we were seeing throughout the entire episode. But I really, really love that. I cannot wait to see how that plays out for the rest of the season. But I thought that was amazingly well done. Admittedly, I think that was my favorite part, just because it was so powerful. Like that, and the stuff they have with Ward, just how those characters are. Like one guy, he, was suicidal at one point. He's so drained, and he's kind of clinging to this weird hope that he had that seemed really minor for Sky, but now it's like she's the only thing that he really even gives a crap about. And then we have Fitz, who suffered, in the season finale trying to save Simmons, and now he's dealing with that, and he has medication for it to try to help him, but he's kind of stuck. He's not as quick as he used to be. So those two moments were definitely my favorite in this premiere. But I really loved it. It was great. They had a cool villain, a super villain actually. He was really cool, and he's gonna be in the next episode. I enjoyed his power where he can take stuff and then turn his body into it, and it was interesting how they mentioned that it actually feels good to him when his body does molecularly change. I thought that was an interesting twist to that ability because I've seen it before, but I've never heard it where the person actually enjoys changing. It actually physically feels good to them. So that was just a little thing I thought was interesting. Hydra is still going to be the big factor here where things are just really messed up. Hydra's in hiding, Shield is in hiding, and the U.S. government is trying to take down both. And then, of course, the guy who somehow has lived for a super, super long time as a young man, or, middle aged man, I guess. He's still alive and he's still searching for the same object that was taken from him during the flashback scene in the opening of this episode, which was also really amazing. And I was hoping that that was going to come in and out of this episode. Unfortunately, it's only the beginning portion. But I do know that the Howling Commandos, and I can't remember her actual name, but the agent, I know both the Howling Commandos and her will be back in another episode this season. So I'm really excited to see that. At least I hope they are. I believe there's supposed to be more than one. But that was a really cool opening. It was a really interesting start, and I'm definitely curious to see what what exactly this thing can do. Because so far, all we've seen it do is like, kill everyone that touches it. So who knows what it's really meant for. And Hydra currently does have it. So I thought it was a great season premiere. Like I said, like the villain, like the aspects of it. Everything was just pretty much great. I think it was a great start to this season. I'm really excited for season 2. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought about it, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and of course, what do you guys think about this season premiere, and are you guys excited for season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.